long moment of reckoning for the fashion industry. Now, more than ever, the industry has been forced to question its relevance. In a year that's been marked by political conflict, health and climate-related uncertainty, what role does the fashion industry have to play? What value can they add? At the peak of the pandemic, especially with economies in recession, the answers to these questions seemed unclear. In recent months, however, in Nigeria and the world over, key players of the fashion industry are doubling down on their efforts to redefine what they stand for with more clarity, finding new and exciting ways to offer more than just beautiful clothes. The industry is lending a voice to causes for social justice, political advocacy, representation, and so much more. On this weekly survey of style and culture across the globe, we'll examine the evolving role of the fashion industry and shine a light on some of their causes. I am Onyeka Chioba, and this is Today's Style. Africa Fashion for Peace is an annual international showcase that brings together the worlds of fashion, art, and entertainment to make a difference in the lives of those displaced by violence and insurgents. We'll check in now with our correspondent and resident stylist, Patience. She was live at the event to capture all the glitz, the glamour, and of course, the important message behind it all.
Welcome to the African Fashion for Peace 2020 happening in Abuja, and I'll be giving you the scoop of everything that's happening here today. I am Effiong Patience Ima, so come along.
Fashion enthusiasts turned up on the occasion of the third annual edition of the Africa Fashion for Peace Showcase. Hosted by Okama Brook, the event featured an exclusive fashion presentation from Hopez Designs, Outdoor Luxury, and Lollipop Africa, with music, entertainment, arts, distinguished guests, and honorees. Miss Hopez is the vibrant face of this philanthropic initiative, intensifying advocacy and making strides as part of the global peace agenda. After surviving a terrorist attack 6 years ago, the model and CEO turned her trauma into a mission to bring peace to conflict-ridden zones of the country and beyond. Through socially conscious fashion, she's raising awareness for the plight of people displaced by violence and insurgents.
I escaped the last bomb blast in Abuja on the 21st, I can't forget, April 2014. When that happened, I asked myself, oh, this happened, Opez, you survived it, and your friend walked into it, and you escaped. Why am I really alive? So something struck in that you have a message to pass out there. That is a message of hope, message of love, and a message of what? Peace. Because what led to that is what? The country is not in peace.
Through this year's theme, simply tagged Enough, the initiative also gave attention to gender equality and women's empowerment. The showcase provides a platform to empower female entrepreneurs and promote African brands. The program also features awards for various peace ambassadors within and outside the country. Designers and honorees at the event shared the impact of being part of such a significant initiative.
I'm showcasing my brand, which is Lollipop African Design. It is rich in the culture of Africa, and you'll see lots of Ankara and lots of fabrics from different African countries on the runway. So we're celebrating Africa. We're here to stand with Hopez to support her in her campaign against violence. We're trying to voice out that we've had enough of the violence happening in our country. We've had enough of the killings. We've had enough of the kidnappings, the rape and everything. We're just tired, and we want peace to reign so that we can grow as a country.
I feel so excited. I feel it's more responsibility for me, and I think with what I've got today, I'm also going to stand as an ambassador and also contribute my quota in terms of peace building and peacemaking. To a very large extent, I think it's encouraging, it's motivating, and I think what I saw today, I feel responsibility is not bent on government alone, but for an individual coming up with this, it's an ideology that everybody is coming to the consciousness of bringing in peace. And if every one of us understands it, then it's going to move from the down part to the up part. And I think it's a great one.
I'm glad to be here because this is a form of promoting peace, not just in Nigeria, all over the world. And I want to keep doing this because it expresses my inner emotions, how I feel within. You know, the designs keep coming. I don't think about it. They just come. I'm happy to be here. I'm really grateful.
Africa Fashion for Peace also opens vast opportunities for youth to realize potential skills by conventional means and equally communicate creative values. The Child Dream Initiative was given a seat at the table to speak up for themselves.
We're here today to help sensitize the world about the need for peace and why we should eliminate war, conflict, disagreements in our society.
Africa Fashion for Peace is a call to action that seamlessly integrates African fashion into a message of peace, hope, and advocacy. All proceeds from the event each year are redirected to support people displaced by insurgency and civil unrest, as well as fund empowerment programs.
We have started with the campaign, which is Enough campaign. We just finished the Enough campaign, and now there's the fashion areas, and the third one is going to be the charity outreach. We need people to understand the concept. The concept is not just fashion show, after models walking, catwalk, and go and see that. No, there are more to it. We're promoting peace and we're promoting Africa in the world. And also we're using it to give back. We're giving back. That's the third part of it. The main thing is to reach out to the IDP camp. Whatever we're getting from this media now, we're using it to reach out to the less privileged, most especially those people that have been affected by the insurgencies. So we're like using the proceeds from this African Fashion for Peace to reach out to them.
As the platform expands its outreach year after year, Hopez believes that more people will follow suit and take action to be the change we would all like to see in the world.
Wow, such amazing and beautiful design from our very own Nigerian designers. The AFFP promised us a night to remember, and indeed it was. I am Effiong Patience Imar reporting. Back to you, Kachi.
Thank you, Patience. That was an excellent scoop on the Africa Fashion for Peace showcase. We'll be bringing you the red carpet recap on two equally glamorous events with a similar aim to raise awareness. Le Mode's Green October is using fashion to celebrate and support persons living with disabilities. And the lovely ladies behind Nigeria's biggest movie at the moment used an all-black dress code to highlight women's rights and support the victims of sex trafficking. Le Mode magazine's Green October event held recently as part of the magazine's annual initiative to create awareness for persons living with disabilities. Each year, the event highlights a specific cause to create awareness, appreciate, and support persons living with disabilities. And for the 6th year, the theme was Disability Inclusion in the Post-COVID-19 Era. It's aimed at looking at ways that people can take advantage of the post-COVID-19 era to be more socially inclusive. The undisputed highlight of the Green October event is the procession of celebrities on the green carpet, showing off their best sides and styles. The publisher of Le Mode magazine and convener of the October event wore a beautiful green and nude lace gown. She was accompanied down the green carpet by her daughters Mildred and Michelle. A star-studded guest list came out to show support for the cause, and they kept to the event's signature color theme in stunning green and white looks. Everyone is talking about Ebony Life's newly released film Oloture, and celebrities pulled off a stunning virtual red carpet to mark the film's Netflix premiere. For the event, guests were dressed in all black to show support for women's rights and victims of human trafficking, themes which are explored in the film. Ebony Life's CEO and the film's executive producer, Mo Abudu, was regal in a silken tulle gown from Lanre da Silva Ajayi. Also dressing up for the cause in their very finest were cast and guests of the new film, keeping to the black and formal theme. And now it's time for some TSG. When it comes to finding the perfect outfit that combines functionality, comfort, and style, understated staples might just surprise you. In other words, classic ensemble pieces are being modified into showstoppers with just a few tricks. From adding a little something extra to tweaking your details, you can become your very own stylist in no time. With fundamental pieces like a timeless white shirt, jeans, or simple dresses, and the right statement-making accessories, your day-to-day style can be easily upgraded. Elevating your style is about to become second nature with these current and very unique trends. The beauty of this style hack is working with what you have in the most creative ways possible. An unorthodox take on your favorite pair of jeans can be taking cues from the ankle tie trend. All you need to achieve the look are strappy heels in whatever color, design, or heel length you prefer. Now, strap your shoes over your trousers and suddenly you're on board with a chic outfit that's both laid back and in vogue. One fashion item that's in and on a hot streak this season are statement silk scarves. Making its way through the scene, stylistas continue to add to its functionality with the scarf top trend. Whether you choose a vibrant or plain scarf in fabrics like silk or cotton, the vintage gem is set to help you make a statement. If you're into the art of layering and boxy silhouettes, then this is for you. Oversized blazers have a way of fitting into any persona and adding the exact amount of sophistication or spice to any look. Accompanying essentials from slip dresses to a monochrome shirt and pants combo, an oversized blazer is a must-have piece for effortless styling. If you're looking for ways to step up your game, look no further. The t-shirt under a spaghetti strap dress is one styling hack you need to embrace. From boxy to tight-fitting specifications and short to long dimensions, an array of silhouettes exists for dresses. As long as you have one or two classic fitted tees in neutral colors, there's no limitation to how much you can switch up your dresses. An effortless game changer. Retro sunglasses continue to win. Giving off cool and modest vibes, the 80s-inspired eyewear transforms a basic garb into a whole look. Ranging from wide and bulky lenses to thin and chunky rims, you can never go wrong with this timeless accessory. Fashion can be therapeutic in many ways, but colors play a major role in its efficiency. Eye-catching solutions and iridescent staples never disappoint. Think bright hues of red, yellow, and neon green, as well as exquisite animal and geometric prints. Plain skirts can be a bore sometimes. Thankfully, dressing up your skirts offers a quick and edgy solution. With the trendy denim and dress or denim skirt and shirt combinations, your style is in for a fresh treat. Early October marks the close of the annually anticipated fashion weeks in the major capitals of New York, London, Paris, and Milan. With that conclusion comes the timely opportunity to gauge the mood and the direction of the fashion world. A number of designers have shown that against all odds, even in the most challenging of contexts, beauty and creativity can thrive. Layered into the high fashion were messages of rebirth and optimism. Every year, in a month-long schedule of fashion shows and events, fashion designers, brands, and fashion houses all over the world display their latest collections in runway fashion shows, to buyers and the media. These events typically influence trends for the current and upcoming seasons. The most prominent fashion weeks are held in the fashion capitals of the world: New York, London, Milan, and Paris. Known as the Big Four, these shows in particular receive the majority of press coverage. Even with the careful consideration of pandemic-related restrictions, the decision to move ahead with Fashion Week events certainly begged the question: is this the moment the fashion industry should be slowing down, maybe rethinking the Fashion Week schedule entirely? Another big question was, who is buying luxury clothing and for what reason? In light of the pandemic, as well as the pressing need for the industry to move in a progressive direction, let's see how Fashion Week did things differently this year. New York Fashion Week returned with socially distant and digital shows. Organizers adapted to circumstances by hosting a number of outdoor events, and Jason Wu opened the schedule with a runway show on the rooftop of Spring Studios. Harlem's Fashion Row, a platform founded to promote diversity in fashion by supporting designers of color, also kicked off New York Fashion Week with a virtual showcase of collections by Black designers Christian Lauren, Kimberly Goldson, and Rich Fresh. Alongside the expected displays of opulence, some designers took advantage of digital platforms to share messages of activism and empowerment. NBA player Carmelo Anthony launched a streetwear collection to support Black creativity. Meanwhile, architectural swimwear and athletic brand Chromat, known for its diverse runway shows, celebrated all bodies and advocated for the fair inclusion of all genders in sports. During London Fashion Week, a lot of attention was put on the presentations and not just the clothes. Coronavirus infection rates continue to rise in many parts of the world, and a noted impact is the decline of the luxury clothing market. Despite this grim outlook, a gender-neutral London Fashion Week still hosted 50 digital presentations, 21 physical and digital hybrids, and 7 live events. Only 3 designers held physical runway shows. Nigerian designer Duro Olowu showcased a bubbly collection inspired by artist Emma Amos, the postmodernist African-American painter and printmaker who explored themes of feminism, race, and culture with her work. For his collection, Halpin's celebratory style was brought to life by a group of key workers, including women in healthcare and transport, who have been on the front line of the coronavirus pandemic. Sustainability and social justice advocate Bethany Williams focused her collection on her work with a charity that supports homeless mothers and children. Portuguese duo Marques Almeida also committed their collection to making a difference by refocusing on the environment, social and workplace responsibility. For a city that experienced one of Europe's first coronavirus outbreaks, Milan's Fashion Week came to an optimistic close, having hosted significantly more in-person runway shows than either London or New York before it. Journalists, buyers, celebrities, and fashion industry workers from around the world were permitted to sit in close proximity to one another at live events. However, Jeremy Scott's brand Moschino remained committed to social distancing by taking things a step further, having no models. Instead, Scott created a miniature set populated entirely by puppets. Springtime often conjures up ideas of rebirth and new beginnings, but with so much hanging in the balance around the world, many of the new collections at Paris Fashion Week presented a reckoning with the past and present, instead of a look towards the future. With the current public health crisis and climate disasters, it doesn't take a fashion expert to unpick the origins of the current trend for performance or protective wear, as designers offered various riffs on the protective abilities of garments throughout the week. Taking a slightly whimsical approach to the idea of clothes that protect, Kenzo presented a series of beekeeper-inspired looks. Many other designers paired every look with the accessory of the moment, the face mask. Still at Paris Fashion Week, Rihanna's Savage Fenty brand continues to champion inclusivity and diversity. This time around, she debuted her latest collection, featuring an impressive roster of talent representing different races, bodies, and genders. Lagos-based designer Kenneth Ize returned to the Paris runway to make a case for cultural preservation. His collection featured centuries-old traditions of Ashoke, woven into a modern framework. Also representing Africa, Senegalese designer behind Zulibet paid homage to social activist Michaela Davis as he featured African prints and the Ghana Must Go bags on the runway. New York, London, Milan, Paris, and now Lagos, Nigeria's stylish metropolis has become home to a number of trendy events, cementing its status as the next great fashion capital of the world. Over the years, Lagos Fashion Week has already made great strides with its commitment to socially, economically, and environmentally sustainable practices. As it marks its 10th year at the end of October, the platform will undoubtedly offer creative ways that the industry can make a difference in these challenging times. The countdown to Lagos Fashion Week is on, and we can't wait to bring you detailed coverage on how Africa's fashion capital is redefining its role in the current global landscape. In the meantime, we'll be back on Monday with an exploration of batik fabric, its rich history, modern-day adaptations, and its timeless relevance. It's going to be an exciting episode. You don't want to miss this, so be sure to tune in, same time, next week. Join us every Monday for an in-depth look at global style and culture on Africa's largest television network.